Hello, this is Richie. Welcome. Wanted to highlight a couple things from last night's 122-106 loss to the Celtics as it relates to LaMelo Ball. Some room for improvement areas that you're going to see here in the highlight clips, but mostly good stuff. Solid game from him, player of the game for the Hornets. And he did something last night that he didn't do all season. So that is something that I'm going to go ahead and spotlight here with these clips. The first thing that you're going to see are three defensive clips. Now, the first two clips are going to be ones that have areas of improvement, and it's just something that we've seen all season with LaMelo in terms of his point of attack defense, and that's just a spot that he's going to have to get better at. Now, the first clip that you're going to see is Marcus Smart taking the ball up the court. Horford is coming up to set a screen, and as LaMelo senses this screen coming, he takes a step in the direction to try to step over and fight over the screen. But in the process of doing that, he loses his man, Marcus Smart, and as a result, it ends in an alley-oop to Robert Williams. This second defensive clip happens in the second quarter, and it's late in the shot clock, so the Hornets have done a good job of killing the clock, and they've just got to finish out the possession. The ball gets swung back up to the top of the key, and you've got Peyton Pritchard. LaMelo even claps his hands as if he's going to make an important stop here. Pritchard, small guy, but he's shifty, and it just takes one little move to attack that top foot there that LaMelo has planted and crosses him over and gets into the paint fairly quickly. Now, the shot doesn't go in, but that's just something that LaMelo has got to get better at in terms of getting down in his stance, not cheating too much one way or the other. And I think the physicality plus the quickness, like he's going to have to worry about all different types of players when they have the ball in their hands. Now, the Boston Celtics best player, Jason Tatum, gets the ball here in this possession where LaMelo is in transition trying to pick up his man, but obviously with everyone already assigned, he is left with Jason Tatum. And as you see here, closes out, is able to make him drive, and he turns him a couple times. And then when the ball is exposed on the drive, he's able to swipe at it and create the loose ball. Now, it does end up in a three-point shot made by Brogdon here. You're not going to see the results of it, but good defensive possession there from LaMelo to get him to turn, and when the ball does get exposed, he slaps down at it and creates a loose ball. In normal circumstances, I think most of the time that this would result in a turnover. So I'm going to shift it over to the offensive side of the court, and it's something that is another area of improvement for him, but he definitely capitalized on this in this game. In normal circumstances, when he is switched out onto a big, or when a big is switched out onto him, a lot of times he will just pull up from three. Here we have 8 minutes left to go in the first quarter, so his mindset right away in this game was attack. And he's got Al Horford here out on the three-point line, and he takes advantage of the big. Gets a couple dribble moves and gets into the lane, does not finish it, but I think from that moment forward, you just saw the aggression when it comes to LaMelo and getting to the rim. Here you see in transition, pushing it ahead, and he goes right to the rim when there's availability and gets the foul there. Now, this was my favorite two-play sequence that you're going to see, and you'll see why. LaMelo Ball is coming up the court, and P.J. Washington is setting a screen. He actually just sets the screen on his own man and causes a little bit of a congestion there, and LaMelo is able to get all the way to the rim. He thinks he gets fouled, but he finishes there. Maybe a minute and a half later, same exact play. Coming up, setting the screen. Now, with him already attacking on a possession that just happened moments ago, you see that Brogdon helps off and tries to close down the drive. And Pritchard obviously is fighting towards the paint too to try to get back in front of LaMelo. And with that being the case, you see the attention drawn on LaMelo. And here PJ pops for three-point shot. So not only is he doing it to create for himself, but because he did it so often and so frequently in this game, some of the attention was put on him, and he's such a good passer. Here it is again, pistol, just attacks. That's something that you want to see, draws the foul. And this is probably one of my favorite possessions from him late in the game in the fourth quarter. Again, normally he does take a lot of three-point shots. And I think with all the bodies here in the paint, that's what makes it so impressive for me, that he keeps going towards the rim. And Clifford talked about this in terms of picking his spots and trying to be more aggressive. And here I'm going to let this one play out, and just getting all the way through, gets the N1, draws the foul, and finishes there. So LaMelo Ball did awesome in terms of getting into the paint, did awesome in terms of drawing fouls. He's a guy that is so good at finding his teammates as a distributor. He can also have that 15-foot runner that he has, and he tends to rely on that three-point shot. But when he has games like this, when he can get into the paint, not only is he drawing fouls and scoring points at the free throw line, getting other players into foul trouble, he's scoring, but he also has the ability to drive and kick. We saw that one play with the counter there with P.J. Washington popping out to the top of the key just moments after he scores at the rim. So this is going to diversify his game a whole lot more. He took more attempts at the rim, 11, than any game he's had all season. And obviously he made 7 of those, making it the most conversions out of any game this season. So it was something that I was keeping tabs on during the game. I was in attendance, and it was just something that caught my eye, and I had to confirm it when I got home. So LaMelo Ball cannot rely strictly on his three-point shot and that 15-foot runner. He's got to get towards the rim, and he did a good job of that against the Boston Celtics.